Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena, and today we are going FNM, and it's a no limit FNM, so it's pretty much every possible limit's off the hook. Instead of 60 cards, we now have just a minimum of 40 cards, and there's no restriction to the number of copies. There are no cards that are banned. So the last time this was around, people were doing lots and lots of broken stuff. This time, it's even more broken. I'll show you guys why. In particular, it's due to one card. Now, people are doing lots of nasty stuff with this one. So, primarily, people are doing a lot of stuff because of Dark Ritual here. So, remember this good old classic back from the days of Alpha. 1 black mana, add 3 black mana to your mana pool. Chain a bunch of them, you can cast a lot of stuff. So people were reporting turn 1 wins, and that's pretty much the situation we're in right now. However, I decided to go on a different take. If you're curious, the turn 1 win usually revolves around. There are actually many ways. One way is getting a high storm count with Tendrils of Agony. It's just a Dark Ritual, Sign in Bloods to draw cards, and get into more Dark Rituals. That's one plan. The other plan that's usually done is Doom. It's basically get enough to Doom Whisper, and you keep paying 2 life to Surveil. You're gonna keep chucking cards in the yard, and among those cards is a Creeping Chill. So that's something for me to consider here. So let's take off that Twilight Panther. That's not supposed to be there. So we're doing a different strategy here. It's pretty much about denying the 1-turn kill. So what's going to be common is that everyone's going to be running super many copies of something, be it Dark Ritual or whatever their key card is. I've seen someone post like the 16 Lightning Bolt deck. That's also a possibility. So what's our out against that? Lost Legacy. So we probably want to mulligan aggressively. In the test games I've done so far, I pretty much hit land Ritual Legacy, so that's always been the case. The preferred one is 2 Dark Rituals, so I can Thoughtseize and a Legacy, since especially if I'm going first, I have no idea what to name. If our opponent goes first and they don't go off, I stand the chance of making a blind guess on what to target. So we have the Thoughtseizes, Lost Legacies. There's 2 Demonic Shooters because I cut down the number of pack rats here. The pack rats pretty much are win condition at this point if we don't get our opponent to concede after the Legacy fires off. So this one's a bit of an experimental deck. I've got good results off screen, but I wonder if the same will be now, especially since everyone is really gonna be running the 1-turn kill deck at this point. Basically, I did the experiment this morning, but that was 12 hours ago. A lot of things have changed since then. So here we go. And as you can see, a very small deck list. It's very possible I could rotate. I can easily just shift to doing the really busted stuff, but I figured that I kind of want to see. I want to at least show people that plans don't always come together. Our opponent does go first though, so it's not a perfect setup for us. We could lose to a 1-turn kill here. The good news is, if our opponent goes first and doesn't kill us, we stand a chance at guessing. So our opponent goes Dark Grit. So let's see if they get the kill. Into Dark Grit. Into Dark Grit. So that's 7. That's 9. Tendrils is not into Tutor. How many spells was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tendrils is not enough. Peer into Abyss. Okay. They ding themselves. They're supposed to ding us, I think. No, oh no. That's because they're going to keep going off at it, but they ran out of mana doing so. So my best bet is to... Okay, so they ditched a lot of this. Mono black. It's going for something really big. Unfortunately, I have to... I kind of want to save the Lost Legacy for next turn, so I'm actually going to just do a fire off one Thoughtseize. I don't know if this is enough. No, it's just a bunch of Dark Rituals. Our opponent gets to go off again, but I think they missed something. Like, if they don't have it in hand... Also, our opponent's playing a regular deck, so... What card in black allows them to... Demonic Tutor again? That's the thing. I can just name Peer again. Tendrils of Agony, but that's not an insufficient storm count. That's why you want Sign in Blood. It's not enough. But since we now know that's the case... Yeah, that was a fizzle on our opponent's part. So, yeah, I figured the Peer into Abyss was going to target us, but yeah, it's still not enough cards. I guess it's meant for people that are running excessive numbers of the cards. So yeah, so now that I know better, yeah, just name Tendrils in that case. If our opponent was running Creeping Chills, they would have discarded them. It's pretty much those two cards that are basically supporting the one-turn kill. So at least we now know better. At least we definitely named Tendrils. So that was a very weird build on our opponent's part. This one, we get the Thoughtseize, but we don't... But it doesn't really help us. I'm gonna mulligan this. Okay, I think the two Thoughtseizes might be better. Okay, this might... Okay, if they're running temples, this is Tibalt's Trickery. So I kind of wish I have the Lost Legacy. So let's take the Ornithopter. Our opponent probably could draw into another one, which would be a problem. I really need to... Yeah, they drew the Ornithopter. They're gonna hit Ulamog very quickly, so this is... It's unfortunate. We probably could have mulliganed even more. Yeah, that's good game. We have no outs to that one. I think cutting... Yeah, we still have 5 Lost Legacies and 5 Thoughtseizes. What I adjusted was the Pack Rat and the land count. It might be an incentive to cut 1 Thoughtseize and just add another Lost Legacy. So we'll try one more match. But yeah, if you don't hit the Lost Legacy, it's a big issue. So I guess we should always strive to have that Lost Legacy in hand. 5 out of 40 over several mulligans. So opponent's on the play again. We're gonna mull this. I'm probably gonna just add more Lost Legacies and chop the Thoughtseizes a bit. Dark Rituals are fine. Though I probably could even chop a Dark Ritual or 2. Yeah, we're gonna see people aggressively mulliganing here. Now, I like the idea of having a Pack Rat. In fact, I might actually cut down the number of Pack Rats to... I might actually trim the Pack Rats, like say 2 to 1, and just add more Demonic Shooters. That might be a better fit. So we're gonna mulligan. Okay, we have our Lost Legacy. We only need 1. So our opponent goes first, so we get a quick look. Our opponent's playing white, red, Deafening Silence. Interesting. That's actually a very good anti-out. Now I wish I did not bin that land. So people, as you can see, the meta has evolved quite a bit. Now I'm curious what the one... Oh, it's just more deafening. Okay, so in case yeah, I should always keep 2 lands. But we're not quite out of it yet. We're still waiting to see what our opponent's about to do. His opponent's just running Deafening Silence after Deafening Silence. We just... Okay, we hit the land. We hit the pack rat. Our opponent might have Swords to Plowshare, so we probably should be sensitive about the pack rats we use. No, they're just running Deafening Silence. So... Now, this is each turn, so I can actually still make a token. Lightning Helix, so let's not put that to waste. So, hold on. We're gonna start discarding the Lost Legacies now since we're not guaranteed to hit mana. Okay, now I don't have to worry about the Dark Grit anymore. Though I probably could have used the Dark Grit, so no, I wouldn't have enough mana to do it out of turn. Our opponent's probably gonna race us with Lightning Helixes though, so Lightning Helix. They don't have another one. Oh wait, cancel. We're gonna see if there's anything else outside of the Lightning Helix. So, graveyard. Nope, opponent concedes. Oh, they actually have ley lines as well. Okay. But we pretty much took out their main win condition there. So, yeah, we probably could have been more careful there. We could have gotten the pack rat out earlier. And considering how our opponent wasn't firing off Lightning Helixes. So, but yeah, I should edit the deck next turn. We definitely want DTs. So, okay, this is actually a very good one. We've been on the draw for the most part. Opponents on... Interesting. Let's see what kind of... I think our... Oh, no! Opponent concedes immediately. They think we have the combo. Well, actually, that's the nice thing about having Dark Ritual. They think we're fading out the combo deck. I should also have checked our opponent's... deck size. I think our opponent might have put the wrong deck in by mistake. But so far, yeah, one loss because unfortunate. Yeah, we did not have the Lost Legacy in hand. It's really a good mix. So we have the Dark Grit into Thoughtseize, but that's it. I could Dark Grit Thoughtseize Pack Rat, but I won't. I'll be playing a regular Pack Rat next turn in the land afterwards. I probably should be going aggressive there. And it got worse. So it's just Dark Grit. Let's mulligan one more time. Okay. We'll keep this. Generally, we want only one Lost Legacy. Our opponent goes first, so... It might not matter. They might have the first turn one win anyway. So here go, Dark Grit. Dark Grit. So the key caveat is does our opponent have Doom Whisper? They do. So they get 10 chances to flip, and every time they flip, they'll just keep flipping everything. So Dark Grits. So that's a whiff. But they should have more than enough Creeping Chills in their deck. That's a Creeping Chill, so not so great for us. That's another Creeping Chill. So they're back up to 20, so they get 10 shots again. If they hit a positive shot, like... Back up to 10. And note we're down to 10 already, so they have to whiff a lot, but it's not looking great for us. Oh, there's a whiff. So, yeah, we can call this now. It's kind of unavoidable at this point. Our opponent would have to be very stingy on creeping chills, or they would have to kept a hand with a lot of Creeping Chills, which is super unlikely. So sometimes that's the case. If you don't win the die roll and you're up against that deck, you just throw it in, call it the day. But I do want to make an edit here. I'm gonna cut one Dark Grit, add another DT. I think the number of pack rats is actually fine. Actually, no, I'm gonna cut one pack rat, add another Lost Legacy, because that's pretty much what the combo is about. So, okay, let's make those adjustments. Well, actually, it's gonna be hard to make adjustments while okay, so okay, so let's see. Opponent has taken a mulligan. May take another after we've made the choice. They are going first, so we're actually going to keep this one. I think if they mulligan so aggressively, I'm just going to name Tybalt's Trickery right off the bat. Usually the land is the... Oh, never mind, they conceded, that's fine. Usually the land is the big clue there. If I can figure out if I can guess what their deck is doing based on the land, I can pretty much make a good call on the naming. One time our opponent just led off on a Hallowed Fountain, so that was white blue. I had to make a blind Lost Legacy, so I was thinking, well, okay, maybe it might be some regular flyer stick. Then it came down to me, Meddling Mage. I named Meddling Mage. Opponent had 4 in hand, and he did have counters, but they were in the deck. But yeah, so we get to go first. So we get Dark Grit, Thoughtseize, Lost Legacy. Never mind. We don't get to do that. We can Dark Grit, Demonic Shooter for a swamp. And then we can Thoughtseize does nothing. I can recast a Dark Ritual to give us a pack rat. I guess that makes sense because we are drawing into quite a few pack rats over time. Actually, I could... And opponent concedes because they realize we have a different kind of win con. So people are doing the leyline build on the assumption that, yeah, we can just get them to concede. No, you have to think one step further ahead. The person who thinks really far ahead is the guy that makes a singleton deck because everyone else is doing no limit. Now that one is super top tier, but also super inconsistent, so there are some caveats with that. Yeah, so always have a plan B, though. Yeah, if your plan A wins, it's perfect, but people are wising up to that. In fact, that's why we have the Deafening Clarion. So opponent gets to go first. They might kill... Oh wait, no, black-green, so it's not quite. Thoughtseize. So it's a Bolas' Citadel deck, so it's Citadel into something. So I definitely want to bin the Demonic Shooter. Cast 4. Lost Legacy. Naming Dark Ritual because they're never gonna cast some. So Dark Grit. Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, opponent concedes. Usually as soon as you start selecting, they auto concede at that point. I probably should have checked what their other win cons are. I was gonna get there, but usually they concede too fast. But that's pretty much the plan. It's not about getting the first turn kill, but denying everyone else's their kill. I originally called it the no limit denial, but let's give honor to Lost Legacy. Let's give honor to Kira and Nalar. That also, I will note that Lost Legacy does have one weakness. I ran it over Necromentia because I don't want to give our opponent a bunch of 2/2s because I would then have to make accommodations. So I'm definitely keeping this one because the DT can get us a Lost Legacy. We could still lose at this point, but we'll see. Our opponent took a while thinking, so... Okay, let's see. We might lose anyway, so it might not matter. Dark Grit. Okay, this is the Tendrils version. Dark Rit, Demonic Shooter into Tendrils? Yeah, generally it's Tendrils. So I can skip the Thoughtseize at that point. And just name Peer into the Abyss. Okay. So since we know that they're going for Tendrils next turn, actually I can do a Thoughtseize safely. So we just have to be careful with our mana. Yeah, it looks like they're using Peer to the Abyss to set up the next turn. Problem is, if the opponent is smart enough, you're not going to get a next turn. Or they've already comboed off. So they've discarded a bunch. So we have to fire off. So don't fire off the DT immediately. So there's a Tendrils. You know what? Deny them that. That's 4. That's, yeah, opponent sees it. Actually, as soon as they took the Tendrils, it's over. So sometimes the Thoughtseize is good enough. I was gonna go for the Lost. I could have just gone for the blind Lost Legacy, then just name Tendrils. Then our opponent would have been stranded with a hand of. Dark Rits. But yeah, at the very least, we're showing that it's not good enough to just go for. Okay, so we have Swamp, Dark Rit. I might skip Thoughtseize. Oh no, I'm gonna go for the Thoughtseize first. Our opponent might still have the combo, but the trick is to see if we can. Oh, Thieves Guild Enforcer. So we might be a bit slow out of the gate. So we get to snipe 1. Our opponent gets to play 1. That's fine. But because we have everything in hand already. And they see the Lost Legacy, so that's going to be a problem for them. So, Dark Rit. I can Dark Rit to get us 5 mana and DT for the Pack Rat, I guess. Okay, let's do that. So, Lost Legacy first. Name our. Then Thieves Guild Enforcer. Yeah, opponent says good game. Then, yeah, it's literally all the same thing. Wow, this is gonna be a pain to click through. Our opponent is giving us the honor of going through the whole thing. So graveyard's empty. Oh no, graveyard has 1. And our opponent gets to draw. So they're left with swamps. Then we Demonic Shooter for Pack Rat. So next turn we get to play Pack Rat. Our opponent's and that's it. We have a way to block our opponent's Thieves Guild Enforcer, even if I have to pitch this. So no blocks. And there, that's it. We just have to block the Thieves Guild Enforcer once and it's over. I will eventually hit another swamp, but I can just hold back at that point. And as you can see, it's just Pack Rats for the win. It's gonna be it's a 5-turn win at this point, but our opponent's got nothing. We know they have nothing but swamps. And our opponent is salty about it. Yeah, they're super salty. I'm gonna relish the salt. They got denied. You know what? Let's cast a demonic shooter for a swamp. Demonic shooter can get everything. I'm pretty sure I did not miss anything. Yeah, opponent's still salty, but it's not quite over yet. Yeah, let's relish the salt there. That's the thing. A mono threat deck is really not a good idea. And let's put an end to our opponent's misery. I'm not gonna ditch anymore. If our opponent was expecting to win off that many Thieves Guild Enforcers, they're gonna be in a bit of a shock when they run into the other deck. When they run into the Creeping Shield deck, when they run into the Tendrils deck, though. The Tendrils deck, so far I've seen it do a big hit, or pretty much a big peer into the abyss with hopes of doing a big hit next turn. So mono black is definitely a good choice at that. Another option would be to go mono blue and have a turn 1 counter. Like, we're never going to prevent the turn 1 Creeping Chill death. There's simply no way around that. But if the Tendrils is relying on peer to the abyss, we can prevent that. The correct way is to actually have a combination of Sign and Blood and Dark Rituals. Yes, you're doming yourself a bit, but you have to find a way to draw cards. So we get to go first. So I'm gonna have to do I'm gonna have to do the Thoughtseize. And it's nothing but Dark Rits. Okay. That was a very weird keep on our opponent. Yeah, the opponent concedes there. They know. Like, I could just blindly name Dark Ritual without knowing anything, but there are still enough decks that if I name the wrong thing, I'm the one that's over. So if I have the option to Thoughtseize. If not, then we go for the blind hit. But that was a weird one. Our opponent should have mulliganed. Like, okay, casting all those spells, you can hit the Tendrils or you can hit well, okay, so we get the Dark Rit, Lost Legacy Pack Rat. So I'm gonna take a risk because at least Tybalt's Trickery is turn 2. And I do have 2 of them, so I can blindly name Dark Rit, check their deck, then name the next best thing. Besides, more often than not, people are just playing Dark Ritual. Oh wait, speaking of which, we also need to play Dark Ritual. Oh, our opponent is mono red. So as you can see, that's a big whiff. But our opponent's only gonna get one. Our opponent's only gonna get one Fervent Champion. So the opponent concedes. As soon as they saw the Lost Legacy, they figured we probably have another one. So that was a blind whiff. But you know what? If you have an access to the second Legacy, I was more confident in doing that. I was kind of willing to wait one turn. I guess if I had only one Lost Legacy, I probably would have waited one turn. Might be an incentive to add more Thoughtseizes. So, as you can see, the balance is a bit... The balance could still be adjusted, I would say. Maybe one less Pack Rat, one more Demonic Shooter, I guess. So, opponent's playing Yorion. Oh no. Okay, if our opponent's playing Yorion, you know what? We have 2 Lost Legacies. Let's see what their deck is. Oh, it does have Dark Rituals, so it's a Peer into the Abyss deck. So our opponent plays Yorion because it's supposed to be a fake out, but given a choice, I will always name Dark Rit. Oh, opponent concedes before. In fact, opponent's actually running a 120 card special. They, Ruin Crab is, it's actually good against the Leyline deck, but Ruin Crab is so old. That was the threat last time, but a new threat's in town. I actually should have gone to the end to see what their win con is. I'm pretty sure it was Tendrils. But yeah, Blind Legacy, yeah, having a second Legacy helps. Though it does allow us to keep one Swamp Hands. Maybe I could cut some swamps that way. Like, our opponent goes first, so this hand might not even matter. So opponent has multiple ley lines and Deafening Silence. So yeah, sure. We still have Pack Rats. I need to see what we still have Pack Rats. That's the thing. So with this, I can actually safely discard stuff down. Yeah, exile. That's fine. We're gonna exile the Thoughtseizes. Opponent's just playing more of those, but they might have another way to nuke our win con, but if we can hit the DT, then it's all good. Yeah, we probably... Because the thing about this deck is that it does absolutely nothing. Now, well, right now we're in a situation where we're doing nothing also. Target player's graveyard. Hey, you know what? There's actually a trick we can do. We can Lost Legacy ourselves. Hold on. So, Lost Legacy naming... I think we have enough Dark Ritual, so I'm gonna name Dark Ritual. So this gives us cards to draw. So, it's a bit counterintuitive, but it's pretty much our only out. Or rather, it's a way to draw closer without having to draw a lot of dead cards. I'm assuming our opponent has a... It's actually a super vote. Okay, so we did not draw the DT yet, but his opponent's still just playing Silence after Silence. We finally hit the Pack Rat. Opponent might actually have a way to kill it. No, they don't have a way to kill it. Yeah, they... I think in the future these Leyline style decks are going to actually remember to put a way to win. So at least we're changing the minds of some people that way. I think how many people did we beat? No, we've lost to Tibalt's Trickery. We've lost to Doom Whisperer. Yep. Those are the only 2 losses so far. Okay, so only 1 Lost Legacy this time, so I'm actually gonna just pass. We might... Again, this is super... Oh, opponent's playing blue. I have no idea what to name here. I'm gonna cast a Dark Rit. Now, because Spell Pierce is a possibility, I'm gonna name Meddling Mage, but it might be a mistake. This might be a Fairy Miscreant deck, because usually opponent's also deciding if they want to counter it. Spell Pierce, so Resolve, Autopay. So I could name Spell Pierce to protect my future stuff, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume this is blue-white. No, it's Spell Pierce Test of Talents. It's all counter spells and nothing. Okay, so it's not. Okay, so it's nothing. That's fine. And because it's Spell Pierce Test of Talents, it does literally nothing. We're just gonna cast Pack Rat. And our opponent, and also Lost Legacy just takes away the mystique that, oh. So there we go. Actually having a win con helps when you're doing this kind of denial deck. So you know what? I might actually call this a break. I think I've read, how many wins did I get? Oh, we maxed out already. No, that was, oh, we maxed out for the day. That's why. Hold on. Yeah, we maxed out for the day. So I could just keep playing, but it's no, it doesn't help me that much at this point. You know what? I'm gonna call this episode already. It's a really, I would say it's a very good mental exercise on what you can do, and I want to feature something that at least thinks outside the box. Again, it's not perfect. You could still, I think the Creeping Chill deck is pretty much the way to go. That one still has some whiff potential, but it's not. But with the right balance of Creeping Chills, it should be fine. And I think most decks still want to do it safely. The Tendrils deck, yeah, the having to go peer into the abyss actually gives our deck one shot at the Lost Legacy. So there you go. That's it for this episode, the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.